Hi, Paul Howe, CSAT Way. Welcome to Mythbuster Monday and something I want to address. Recently worked some close quarter battle, both exterior, interior, with some law enforcement folks. Had a federal guy, good guy, and Fletch the instructor is what he told me about, and what he teaches is what he does. And what I mean by that is, we've talked about the high port, low ready. But what happens is we've got a federal agency now teaching, running the AR up here. Now let's talk about this for a moment and the pros and cons. Now, LE world, you got to be able to discriminate. It's critical. You're working in America, we need you at a higher level. If you're a federal agency and you're teaching this, you're wrong. And I'll just tell you why. I'm going to articulate why. So I have to see and articulate before I shoot, make sure they're bad. With a weapon up here, I'm blocking vision. I can't see his hands down by his waistline. I've got too much garbage on the weapon and it's too high. So I'm going to see late. I'll see the gun when it comes up on my visual plane. And the world is not a perfect world. And what happens is we've got to be able to go from outside contact, hallway contact, interior. When you're here and you've got that good stock well, I can see him all the way top to bottom. I can see when it's in his hands. The next thing I can look at is a person on the ground. I can see them if I've engaged them, and where is my rifle? Low ready, muzzle below my belt line. I can see better down here. I can articulate. Now, these people bolt out of rooms on you also. When I say bolt out of rooms, if I'm up here and he bolts out, I can't see what's in his hands. I'm late, I'm behind the shot. So you got to get the weapon lower. If you're teaching them outside contact, hallway contact, to move with the weapons up here, you're teaching something that is bad. And nobody will call you on it, but I'll call you on it today. It's bullshit. So sorry, we may have to R-rate this video, but I'm passionate about this because LE, this is the United States of America. We have a lot of great things, and sometimes we go into this cyclic stuff and we teach old stuff or faddish stuff that actually puts the American citizen at a deficit or in danger. Yeah, in danger. Now, what happens is, especially if you're a law enforcement agency or a federal law enforcement, we have good trickle-down tactics and then bad trickle-down tactics. What ends up happening is you go out there, you're the only, say, federal guy in an area of small agencies, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, hey, we want to know the good stuff. Well, if you go out and you teach them bad stuff, you just had a ripple effect across the economy and the people that is negative, and it's not doing that officer any good or the American citizen any good. So you have to have techniques and tactics that are valid, and you have to see and articulate before you shoot. Up here, that's a no-go. The other problem we run into is you start doing that in a room, all houses in America, guess what? The walls is drywall, air gap on the interior, and another drywall. That bullet goes right through. Multiple breach points. You got teams on the other side. You got family members on the other side. Why are you pointing a gun at a dead wall? You got to get the weapon low, below your belt line. We've already proven you're faster from the low ready. I've got some of the guys responding on Facebook say they're going to pie low ready and then go do high port going in. Well, that's insane. They don't know what they're talking about. At first, they've never done it. They get this fad cult thing going with instructors. The reality is you have one system that works across the whole spectrum. If you have a system out here and a system in there, that's two systems, you don't practice enough. And these gumbies that get on the internet, they don't have a clue. So I just kind of don't even worry about them right now. But if you're a Fed, and you have good people there, and I know that, but sometimes this ego-driven training in empires allow the loudmouths that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground to perpetuate bad techniques, and it trickles down to the locals, and then it puts them at a deficit or a lawsuit. Or they take a person's life they didn't need to. So reevaluate your tactics and techniques. You've got to be able to articulate them. You've got to work outside hallways, rooms, and then you got to throw people in. You've got to be able to discriminate. If you're running up here like this and clearing, you're wrong. Simple as it is. As a 20-year on the outside law enforcement trainer, I'll go into court anytime and I'll articulate this and I'll win a jury if you need it. So if you're a guy that's been taught something wrong and it causes you a problem out there tactically, you just give me a shout. I won't charge you nothing if you don't win the case. But what I'll tell you is I'll win the jury and the court over in about 5 minutes, because I can articulate why from a lot of years of experience and case histories. I hope this helps you, and I'll see you next week.